Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT.
Summer lovin', something's begun. Hi, it's Anita Joyce here with Kelly Wilkness, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today's episode, we're going to be covering our Amazon Finds Summer Edition, and this is always so fun.
Yeah, I love doing these. These are very fun episodes to get ready for. And we know that you all enjoy them because they get lots and lots of downloads. So we've got some really great leads on terrific Amazon finds. Now, why do we pick Amazon? Because it's universal and everybody can get to it. Of course, we always say shop small when you can, shop local and all of that. And we are big proponents of that and we do it ourselves. But sometimes you just got to dip into the world wide web of Amazon and pull out some gems, because that site obviously can be pretty overwhelming, and there is a lot of not so great things there too. So we do the legwork, we do the research, and we find these gems, and we're doing it seasonally. And I think that's really been a big hit. Don't you think, Anita?
Right, and I get it. I have some friends that really dislike Amazon a lot. I get that, but there's nothing that compares to it. So if we want to provide options that we know everyone has access to, that everyone has shipping to, and if you have Amazon Prime, a lot of these things are free shipping. It just isn't really anything else like that. And they're usually very well priced.
Yes. And we do have listeners all over the country, all over the globe, actually. Speaking of, let's give a little shout out to Pia in Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
Pia, thank you so much for that beautiful email that you sent us. And we're so glad you got a kick out of us trying to correctly say the Swedish words.
We just kind of did our impression of how it might sound if we were Swedish. We have no clue.
Pia was very supportive and forgiving for our errors in how to pronounce the Swedish names of the IKEA products. But again, thanks so much, Pia. And we're just so excited that you're listening from Sweden. So let's dive into our Amazon summer finds. What's your first one?
I've had my eye on this for a long time. It is the Safavia Daphne glazed ceramic garden stool. And it's kind of shaped like a mushroom with a flat top. And I love this garden stool. It has kind of a basket weave pattern. I mean, it's a solid white, but it's a texture. The texture is like a basket weave on it. So I like it because it's very unique. And the beautiful thing about these garden stools is that not only do they look great indoors, but they're wonderful outdoors. And I guess I should say that up front. I think most of my items, I was thinking patio living. So most of my stuff will work outdoors. But guess what? This one would work inside, outside. We've talked about using garden stools in your shower. I think it has a lot of uses, and this one is particularly charming.
I have some outdoor and mostly indoor stuff, I think. So is it mushroom shaped? So it has kind of like a top, and then does the bottom get thinner?
Well, the top is round but flat on the top, so you can set a drink on it or something, but it's kind of curved. So it's kind of like you took a mushroom and just cut the top half of the button thing on the top off. And
Mm-hmm.
so then underneath the round thing, it's narrow at the top and it widens at the bottom, but it's cylindrical.
Or outside or inside. Now, you all know I am an avid gardener, but I also am not opposed to using some faux when it's appropriate. So I was actually thinking about my own space, my outdoor space. I have these very thin, beautiful planters. They're kind of like almost like a leaf shape, like an oblong leaf shape. So you can imagine there's just not a lot of room for soil. And my friend actually made these for me in her on her potting wheel. So they're super special to me. But every time I put a plant in there, they die because there's just not enough soil. And I have them outside and it's hot here. And if you're not watering them every day, it's like a full-time job to keep them alive. So what I thought I might do, and only you guys will know, is cheat a little bit with little faux succulents. Is I want to put one on the coffee table that we have outside and then the dining table that we have outside. So I went onto Amazon and checked out these faux succulents. Well, there's gazillions of them. I did the research and I went deep. What I would suggest is do not get them potted because that's when it really looks cheesy because they're inexpensive. So the pot or the container is just going to be kind of cheap looking. So you just want to get them loose. And they usually have a little stick or a little bottom of the plastic that you can then push into the soil or whatever medium you're going to use to hold them in. There's an Amazon choice collection of 11 little faux succulents. Maybe you get 2 of each variety or something like that for $9. Pretty great deal. So what I think I'll do is I'm going to use real soil and then I'm going to use maybe some of the moss and then put it all around. Yeah. From a distance or to the uninitiated, they might not even know. And they're going to always look good. So I'm going to try that. I mean, obviously, if it looks cheesy, I'm not going to stick with it. But I think these are going to look pretty good.
Well, the interesting thing about the succulents is I think they look more real than most other faux plants. I think you can get away with that. Even like some tiny little rocks I think would look nice, but I think the moss would look great too. And I had gotten some succulents for Evie because I thought maybe she can keep these alive because, they don't need to be watered very often. Well, sadly, the little plant died. And so I gave her another one, only this time it's not real.
Oh, does she know it's not real?
She does, because I thought, oh, what's going to happen if she waters this? Because I have heard of people doing that. They water things and then realize later.
No, I had a client like that, and I hadn't been into her house for several months, and she's like, oh, Kelly, remember that orchid I showed you at Christmas time? And then this was like this summer. She said, I can't believe I kept it alive. And I went into her living room and it was sitting in a spot where a plant would not be happy. And I looked at it and I said, I won't use her name. This is not real. She's like, I've been watering it every week.
Oh my, that's got to feel not good to find that out. Right. So I told her, I think it took a while to sink in, but I'm like, that's right. Don't water it. So I'm sure it still looks great.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Well, you do have to dust them a little bit or take them out and just like rinse them under the water because you don't want them to get dusty. That looks really cheesy. Dusty faux plants. Bad, bad, bad.
That's right. That's really the thing you have to keep in mind with the faux plants. But, like I said, I mixed in some faux with my real just to give it a little fullness, and so I wouldn't have to worry about everything staying alive. It's worked very well in my house so far, so we're going great on that. So my next item is a patio set. It's a 5-piece, so it's 2 chairs, a table, and then 2 ottomans that actually, I have something similar to this on my back porch. And the ottoman actually sits underneath the chair, but it's got a little hole in it where you can pull it out, and then you can use it as an ottoman. But when you're not using it as an ottoman, it is tucked under the chair. And it's wicker. I mean, it's that polypropylene wicker, so it is for outdoor use. But it's nice. It's 5 pieces, and it's just a little over $200 today.
It.
I mean, it's on sale, so it may be more when you're looking at it.
$200 for 5 pieces of outdoor furniture?
And cushions, right. Yeah.
And cushions?
Right, I'm telling you.
What color are the cushions?
Well, they're kind of a beige color.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that
wow. Oh my gosh, you can't even get an ottoman for outside for that amount of money. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And the reviews are good, probably, right? But that's another great thing about Amazon is that you can really check all those reviews. There's always like one person that's totally off mark, like everybody's saying it's great and they're like, No, I kind of discount that person normally. If most of them are good, you're usually pretty confident, don't you think?
Right. And I look at how many reviews. If there's just 3 and they're glowing, I'm like, it's that friend 1, 2, and 3. But if there's a lot and it's good, that's right. Everything on Amazon has some crappy reviews. In fact, our books, there's a few people that didn't like them. So,
What?
There's always that person. Okay, don't look. I'm not going to.
Now I gotta go look. What are you talking about?
Well, I know there's some on mine, but it's in the minority. So I just go,
Hey, you can't please everybody, can you? Scalloped rug made of jute. Oh my gosh. This has definitely been on my mind. And since we were getting prepped for this, it's now in my cart. I was thinking about getting this scalloped jute rug for my girls' bathroom. And, here in California, I can get away with jute all year round, but it just seems like such a summer item. They're absolutely darling. Picture almost like a big flower shape, like loosely designed like a flower. It's really round with then scallops around the edges. And it's made of jute. They come in all different sizes from 2 feet up to 15 feet. And then obviously corresponding prices. I think it starts out at like $51.15 for whatever reason. And it goes way up, if you're going to get a 15-foot rug. But the edges are done in color. So they're kind of like, it's almost like a preppy jute rug. It just screams summer to me, I think. It'd be so darling in a sunroom or a kitchen. I mean, I think it would be awkward by a door because it's round with scallops, but you could use it as more of a smaller area rug if you have a certain sized entry. You could use it sort of right in the center rather than right in front of the door. But it's so cute. I'm going to get probably the black trim. I'm between the black and the white, but they have all kinds of colors: pink, orange, red, yellow, green, a couple of different blues, I think. It's so darling.
So it's just one color on the trim, right?
It's just one color on the border, and I would say it looks like the border might be 2 inches, also made of jute.
Okay.
And it just edges it out.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
I have to say, as an aside, since I was talking about door mats, and I probably wouldn't use this as a doormat, I did look for doormats, but I had to stop when I encountered the doormat that said, "Come back with a warrant." That is so tacky. I can't even stand it. I mean, it is kind of funny, I guess.
Well, the one I found that I thought was so funny is it says, "Ring doorbell, then weed until answered."
Oh, that's a good one. I would take my time getting to the door for sure.
Yeah. No one would answer the door at our house. Yeah. Oh, we're coming.
Exactly.
Right. So the next thing I have on my list is a lightweight concrete modern rectangular planter, and this is for outdoor.
That's a lot of description.
I know. Well, you know how they have the long names on Amazon, and that's so that any word people are looking for shows up in the search engine. So there's a lot of, I kind of took a few out, but anyway, it is basically a tall rectangular planter that is a charcoal color, and it is made from concrete and weather-resistant fiberglass. And right now it's on sale for less than $50. And it's 23 inches tall. And I have one that's similar to this with a big, a big faux boxwood ball on top. That
she
I think looks
says
pretty great.
Quietly, faux boxwood ball.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, well, anyway. But it looks great. I think that's a really nice look, and I
love those planters. Those planters are great. I have a bunch of different sizes of those. I have like the little cube, and then I have the taller one. And for a couple of clients, I have used the long rectangular ones. And you can even put those together, line 2 of them up or 3 of them up, if you kind of want to make a division in your yard, if you want to delineate a certain space or you want to kind of create a different space, because you know that when you're designing a backyard, it's great to break it up. It actually feels much bigger if you have specific areas to do certain things. So say you got this $200 patio set, which sounds fantastic, and you just were going to put it out on your wide expanse of just lawn, it might look a little lost. But then maybe you create this sort of pony wall, if you will, with maybe 2 or 3 of these longer rectangular planters like Anita's describing. And probably the one you're linking to has other shapes and sizes associated with it, because they usually do. That would be fantastic. And then you put in your plants. You could even put some of those faux mixed in that Anita's been doing. And then you create this special area. I think that would be a wonderful way to design a yard.
Well, the other thing I just wanted to mention is I think for your front porch, it's always better to have a planter that's elevated, because I think it looks funny having these short little planters with plants on them when you have a tall, maybe like an 8-foot door. And so if you have an 8-foot door, I think you're going to want a planter that's at least 2 feet tall to put something on so that it doesn't look dwarfed by your door.
That's an excellent design tip. And I definitely agree. And you can get some height also with the plants that you choose. But yeah, you're already there if you go with a taller planter. Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. So have you tried Dupe yet? If you haven't, come on, dupe.com. It is going to be your new shopping best friend. And it's not just for furniture. I know I've shared with you about my coffee table dupe, but you can save money with Dupe on fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. I just used Dupe to find an absolute perfect twin of this t-shirt that I wanted. It was an $80 t-shirt. I was not going to pay $80 for a t-shirt. Dupe helped me find the twin, like maybe the exact same shirt. Find something you love, and then you can find replicas, twins, and maybe the exact thing for so much less. Give Dupe a try today. It is really so easy to use. You just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser, and voila! It instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account is required. No sign up is required. It is completely free. I know, can you believe it? But it is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today. My next one is a white melamine tray with handles. This one's beautiful. It's the white melamine, and so it's a heavy plastic. It's got self handles. It's 19.5 long by 11.5 wide, so it's a really good size for plates and glasses. You can fit a lot on there, and it's $21.99.
Interestingly enough, my next item is also melamine, and this is a 12-piece set of melamine dinnerware. And it's in a fun Tuscan pattern. It's the
Wait, a Tuscan pattern?
Well, right, but not it's not red and gold. It's blues and greens. It looks very summery, very cool. But that hand painted kind of Tuscan tile.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they look like. But so there's a really lovely summery pattern on there. That, like I said, it's mostly blue and green. It's really pretty, and so looks like dinner plates, salad plates, and bowls. So that would be really nice on your outdoor table, and because it's melamine, you don't have to worry about it breaking.
Anita got us all into glass storage and things like that. And she's got me thinking, and maybe all of you too, about, using glass more than using plastic, even if it's BPA free and things like that. Obviously, like you just mentioned, glass can break, melamine can't, plastic can't. But if you're drinking out of it, something you're using all the time, then maybe you want to go with glass. So I was looking for glassware, tumblers that you could use outside, and I saw a lot of plastic ones, but then I came on this 6-pack glass set, which I thought was so great. Not only do you get the big tumblers, and I think it's like 14 or 16 ounces, but it comes with a bamboo lid with a metal straw. So the bamboo lid has the straw hole in it. And you get the metal straw, which is great if you're a straw person to start using a metal straw rather than the plastics. And then also it comes with a variety of different colored screw-on lids. $32.99 for the pack of 6.
That sounds wonderful. Except for the metal straw. I'm not so crazy about that because I've found that stainless steel usually destroys the flavor of things that I'm drinking through it. So
really, that doesn't bother me, and I thought it would because of my fillings. Like I don't like to have like the thought of metal, but it doesn't bother me. I've been using a metal straw because I'm definitely a straw
So
person.
if you taste two different types of water, can you taste the difference?
No.
Okay, I can.
I probably don't drink water through a straw. Like I drink my iced tea.
No,
through the
I mean,
straw.
I'm just saying I can tell the difference. Not separate from the straw. I'm just saying I pick up on flavor differences that I don't know that other people pick up on. Because like if you put three different bottles of, you put different waters in front, I can tell like which ones, which kind of.
Oh, yeah, I can probably do that, but I can't discern a difference through using the straw and not using the straw.
But just some people that don't have.
You might have missed your calling to be a sommelier.
Well, yeah, I can taste things. Yeah, it might. So it's a liability though, because my family's always like, taste this, smell this, because I think it's gone bad. I'm thinking, well, if you think it's gone bad, do I really need to smell it? Would you taste this? I had somebody who was making something fermented. So I'd been sitting on our counter for a while, which I do eat fermented things. But she said, I didn't do it right. Would you taste it and see if it tastes right? And I'm like, no. You already told me you didn't do it right. So no, I'm not going to taste it. So my next item is a patio umbrella. I picked this one because it's a little unique looking. It's considered a cow print, so it's white with kind of black spots. Maybe you might even call it a Dalmatian print umbrella, and it has some white fringe around it. So it's just kind of a little fun, a little different, and it does tilt and it cranks up, and it's 6.8 feet wide. So that might be just a little something fun to have for your patio.
I gotta see this Cruella de Vil. I don't know about that one, but I'm going to take a look. Outdoor grain sack style. Let's call it grain sack inspired pillows. You can get them in 18 by 18 or 20 by 20, $12.99 for the 18s and $14.99 for the 20s. You get a pair, but they have the stripes are slightly different, but they're supposed to be fine for outdoor. They did not use the word sunbrella, but they did use the word outdoor, and that they're waterproof. So if you just want a simple outdoor pillow, I think these would be great to mix with maybe they're gray, I should say, gray and beige. So that those tones of grain sack. So if you mixed it with really any kind of colorful solid, or if you wanted to mix it even with a floral that had some grays in it somewhere, that would really be pretty for your outdoor furniture.
How about an outdoor rug? Now you did yours, but this one's very different from the one.
Well, I should say the scallop rug is not outdoor because it's jute. I wouldn't put that outside.
No, I agree. But this one you can put outdoors. So this will go inside or outside. And, one of our favorite brands is Safavia. They usually have very good quality items. And so this is Safavia, and it is an indoor-outdoor, synthetic rug. So it doesn't shed like the sisal would shed. Yeah. And it's supposed to be UV fade resistant. So this is definitely something you could put outside. This one is an 8 by 10, and it's kind of a traditional Oriental pattern, kind of, or maybe Turkish. I don't know how I would categorize this, but it is mostly blue with cream. So it's just two colors. It's very subtle, really pretty, and I think it would be a nice addition to your patio or porch.
A French market basket. They're just so lovely, and you can actually use it. Yeah, you're going to use it as a purse if you wanted to, but you could certainly use it going to the farmer's market or something like that. But I love to use them sitting by the door. Maybe you throw some status, something that doesn't need to be sitting in water in it. Or sometimes I'll just have a scarf or a lightweight throw, kind of artfully draping out of it. 20 by 13 has a leather handle, and it looks like it's a really nice quality. It's a nice chunky texture. It's just lovely for $40. I think that's a great price for one of these baskets.
I love those market baskets. They're so pretty.
It really is. I mean, if it's just hanging with nothing in it, like on a peg or a hook or something like that, I just think that says summer right there.
So my next item also screams summer, and it is a patio cooler. So this is a cooler for your drinks, but it's one of those fun ones it's on legs and wheels. So you can roll this out and then put the locks on. It'll stay in place, and it has 2 lift-up bins on the top. And it comes in a lot of different colors. I found one in this beautiful blue, and it has a bottle opener on the side. It's just very retro looking, really cool. And right now it's on sale for less than $200. I don't know what it'll be later, but it's an 80 quart. And
Wow.
I think that would just be so fun to have out on your patio. What a great way, what a fun way and attractive way to serve drinks.
Well, I don't know if the blues would coordinate, but I found a heavy duty rectangle blue striped tablecloth with tassels and stitching for $25.99. It's 55 inches by 86 inches, and it looks really beautiful. Kind of has that Greek Turkish towel vibe to it. But the reviews are great, and I think it would just be really lovely. And of course, you could use it inside as well as outside.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. So my next item, we were talking about the plastic versus the glass. And like I said, normally I am all for the glass. But if you are outdoors and there's kids around or you're concerned about breakage, I think then this is a nice option to go with some BPA-free plastic. And these are some of the nicest looking plastic glasses I found. These are a set of 4, and they're 12 ounce, and they're in a really pretty pink color and a nice texture. The reason I was drawn to these also is they had 131 ratings, and they were all 5 stars.
Wow.
I mean, it was 5-star, average, and you just don't see that.
If you don't like blue, which, some people might not like blue.
I know some people that don't.
French floral tablecloth, 52 by 70 with fringe. And this sort of has I would say an off-white ecru background, and it's sort of loose in the botanical type of floral vibe, not sort of a tight pattern, just kind of like as if these wildflowers were kind of thrown all over the fabric. $27.99. It is absolutely beautiful tablecloth.
Well, that's all my items. Do you have any more?
I have one more, and this one I saved for last because I think it's kind of the best. Remember, Anita defined Cantha quilt for us several months ago?
Yes.
Well, Cantha quilts are great, and I didn't really realize that I had some already, and I really do like them. So it's a quilt, and it's normally got some thinner batting in between, and then it's stitched on top. So, and it could be the same fabric on either side or 2 different fabrics, and certainly correct me if I'm wrong or I left anything out of the definition, Anita, but I think I covered it. And this is a Cantha quilt. Looks like, from what they're telling us, that it's actually made in India in this small village. And the name of the company who's offering these variety of Cantha quilts on Amazon is V. Vendant. So you can go look at their whole shop. I'm sure you all know how you can click through. If you like a product, you can then click through. If the people have an actual store with other items, you can see what other things they offer. So this particular one is, you can either get a twin or a queen, and it has all different patterns and all different colors, and ranges somewhere between 37 to 43 for the twins, and then a little bit more for the queens. And I picked out one, and this is definitely in my cart. I'm going to get this for the end of my daughter's bed, because her walls are gray, her ceiling is metallic silver, her duvet is a simple dove gray, and then we have some of those magic linen pillowcases in sort of pinks and grays for her. So this one that I picked out is multicolored. So there's different squares. So there's be a pink square, and it has to have floral and a bird on it. And then it's the same floral and bird, but then it'll be a gray background, a turquoise background. So it's really beautiful. And it's the twin size. That one is, for the multicolor, is $43. Now, I did read the reviews, and they're not too many of them, but there's only one that said that there was no batting in between it. It's really just 2 pieces of cotton.
But that's Cantha. That's what they are. They're very thin.
They're very thin, right? But usually, is there not a little batting in between somewhere?
If there is, it's very little. I mean, that's the whole point, is that they're very lightweight. So
they're very lightweight, right?
Right. So I don't even think there is. So if someone's expecting a regular quilt, that's just not what this is. So, I mean, it's great for hot climates like mine and really where you are. It would be perfect, because it's rarely cold enough here for a wool blanket. So I think that would be nice.
Right. Right. That's what I thought. And folded over. I mean, she's got a full, and it's an antique bed. So it's like sort of a full sort of queen. So, getting the twin size just to fold at the bottom is perfect. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it takes a little bit longer to get it because they are making it. So they say, it takes 7 to 10 days for them to make one of these things. I'm sure they have some of them in stock, but I probably won't get it for a couple of weeks, but super excited about that. So that was my piece de resistance of the Amazon Summer Finds.
Look at you adding that color. Wow.
I know. Isn't that fun?
But if it's all gray, I think it needs some colors. That'd be great. That sounds wonderful.
In the wintertime, she has, a fuzzy throw at the bottom, which is pink, a dusty pink and stuff. So there's some color, but this is a lot of color. So I think it'll be really pretty. And hey, we wanted to thank someone special. One of our longtime listeners, Maria Elena, left us a really wonderful and heartfelt voicemail. So we're going to play it for you right now.
Good morning, ladies. I just got off of the pod. It's Maria Elena, longtime fan of the podcast, as you know. Couldn't agree more with the tips you gave about the personality shining through in your home. I try to do that in my home, but I think it's less in the trying and more in just the living and being and doing and growing. And, things will change along the way. I recently had the opportunity to work in a home downsizing someone, and I never met her, but boy, did her home tell a story, and I felt like I knew her intimately by the time we were done with the job. So hope you guys have a great day. Love you both.
Thank you, Maria Elena. That was so kind of you. We loved hearing your voice. So thank you. And if anybody else is inclined, please leave us a voicemail. It really absolutely makes our day. So we would love to hear from you. And we would love to hear from you in this way too. If you're listening to us every week and you're really enjoying the show, we would so appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to leave an Apple podcast review for us. It does so much for the show, more than you can ever imagine, as far as getting the show noticed by Apple and therefore promoted to other people who haven't found us yet. So it really will help us a lot. So if you wouldn't mind, just take those few minutes and leave us a review. We'd really appreciate it. And it's simple to do.
Yes, please leave us a review. And thank you so much, Maria Elena. We loved hearing your voice. It was wonderful. And we'd love to hear your voice. So please do leave us a voicemail and maybe we'll play it on the air.
And speaking of voices, another way we can hear your voice is if you sign up for a consult. And we are so excited because today, after we record, we have two consults today. We cannot wait to dive in and talk to our listeners/clients and give them our advice and just get to know them a little bit. We have a great time doing the consults. I believe that we really share a lot of concrete, actionable advice and tips, and we get everybody on track on a room or a house or a project that they're not really sure how to handle. And so we're loving doing that, and we'd love to talk to you as well. It's super easy to sign up for a consult. Just go to our site and click consult. Okay, so what are we defining?
We are defining casters. These are round wheels attached by a swivel to furniture pieces for mobility. So they're commonly used on dining room and office chairs. I know my mom had chairs in her breakfast room with casters for years, and she just got rid of them. I think there was some problem there, but they were pretty old and they had a lot of use. So these are a great thing for moving furniture. And we even have some club chairs at our farm that have the casters on the front feet. And so if you want to move the chairs, you can just pick up the back and then you can move it around. It does make it easier to move them from one place to the other. And, some of these look kind of industrial. If you buy an office chair, they're not really attractive. But on a fine piece of furniture, they make some beautiful casters, and often they have brass tips that go on the bottom of the legs, and they can be quite decorative.
Oh, yeah. I think they're beautiful. I have a few pieces with casters on. You can find vintage sets of those too, and then you could add them to pieces of furniture that you have, kind of a way to make maybe a newer piece or maybe a piece that you thrifted or consigned or painted or something like that, have a little bit more personalities to add a set of casters to the bottom.
What's your crush?
My crush is a site called ThreadUp. Love ThreadUp. It's very sustainable. Because it is gently used, consigned clothing. And they have so many top rate designers on there. It is almost overwhelming because they have so much stuff. The way I like to use ThreadUp is I will pick a designer and you get the stuff so quickly, and it comes in a really cute polka dot box with polka dot tissue paper. So definitely check out ThreadUp. I'll have the link in the show notes.
So my crush is a set of lampshades that I got because something fell off the wall onto a lamp, broke the lampshade. I know I told you all about it. Won't get into all the details, but so I needed to replace some lampshades, and I needed, two that matched. Do you know, I found something on Amazon, and it was $25 for the pair. Now, before you say, okay, now normally you would say you're not going to get anything nice for $25, but these actually look very nice. They're beige, kind of a natural linen look. And the reason I think that they were so inexpensive was because there was some assembly required. So the shade was actually, the fabric was rolled up, and then you had to kind of snap it on the spider at the top, and then the rim on the bottom.
I've gotten shades like that. I can't remember what came like that. And I was like, whoa, like what is with that? But that saves so much in shipping costs, because shipping a lampshade, you have to have a giant box.
Right. So it's not only saving on shipping, but damage. Can you imagine how many lampshades get damaged in transit? So I think that's what made it so inexpensive. And I thought, is this really going to look good when I put it together? It really did.
Yeah. I can't remember which lamp came with a shade like that. Something I had ordered, and I felt the same way, and I was like, oh God, is this going to look like chintzy? No, it looks great. I mean, that must be the way they put lampshades together. They just put it together for you.
Yeah. So this was a great deal.
Awesome. Well, this was super fun. I know I'm going to go back and add a few more things to my cart. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a look at some of your links and see what I want to add to my cart. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.